Today, our guest is Jimmy Swan.
And I tell my kids, I don't want you being influenced by what the world is offering you. I want you to follow this path, but there's nothing available for me to replace it with. How can I expect them to not feel deprived and not sneak around and do something?
Share the gospel clear and strong. Stand for, claim your heritage of truth.
Welcome to Heritage of Truth. Today, our guest is Jimmy Swan. Welcome, Jimmy.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, you have a project called His Kidz United, and this is Volume 1.
That is Volume 1.
That means there are going to be
a lot more
There's
coming.
a lot more.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, why don't you tell us about what this project is?
Awesome. Well, His Kidz United is basically a project that we took really popular songs and really well-known songs, and we put kids singing those popular songs. So our target audience is going to be primarily for families and kids from the age of 5 to 14.
So when you say popular songs, popular with whom?
Yeah, basically the formula behind each project is we put 18 songs. 11 songs are songs that are very current on Christian radio right now today. It's like Shake from Mercy Me, I Am from David Crowder. You've got Mandisa, Toby Mac. So very popular stuff that you would hear on the radio currently. Then we have 2 songs that I consider classic songs, where we bring back the old school stuff that the parents really like, but the kids are like, oh, that's too old sounding. Or at least this gives them a new opportunity and new currency to be introduced to the classics that we love. I've got 2 songs that are really well-known songs, so like 10,000 Reasons, Oh Praise Him. May not be on the radio every day on the charts, but it's very popular.
So it's like a standard.
It's standard. It's perfect. And then I've got a crossover song, which is basically a mainstream song or mainstream artist who wrote a Christian song that didn't quite know it. And so the message is really great in the song, and it's very uplifting. But here we're able to uplift the song instead of the lifestyle that came with the song. So now it's branded as His Kidz United, and the world actually knows that music, so hopefully they can be introduced to this product and be able to be introduced to all the Christian acts. And then I've got 2 songs on each project that are considered the unknown originals. And so that's where we're introducing new songs that haven't been exposed before.
So you said they're on Christian radio, so it's the kind of things that anybody listening to Christian radio would hear. It's not necessarily for young people.
Absolutely.
But it's young people singing.
And the target was, I've got 4 kids myself.
How old are they?
1, 4, 7, and 9. And so it was always something where if the kids are yelling in the car and screaming and making all this noise, you always turn on the radio. And the last thing my wife and I wanted to do is turn on kids' music and have to then bang our heads against the window, because it's like, which is worse, them or this? So we wanted a product that actually really stood out for our kids and really was impact's for them, but actually something that we can enjoy listening to as well. And
that is a problem with a lot of the children's stuff that's out there.
Well, and there's room for everything.
Yeah,
but this is definitely a gap that didn't exist at this level. There's a lot of wonderful product out there, Yancey and Worship Together Kids, and lots of VeggieTales. All of those products.
We've actually had Yancey.
I love Yancey.
And we've had VeggieTales.
Oh,
too,
awesome! So, Yancey's amazing. But my biggest problem with children's music, to be honest with you, 2 things: 1, quality, and then 2, when you find something that's really good, they take forever to release another product. And so, like Worship Together Kids took 2 years between their worship albums. It's a great product. To me, my kids' attention span changes every day. So if they're loving a product, a brand, a series, and by the time they listen to it today and wait 2 years, they've completely changed.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to release a product that every album, every volume we do, we release 4 versions of it. So we have the original one, and this is available in stores as a physical CD. Everything else I'm mentioning is digital. But we have an instrumental version. So if you just want the music and sing it or just listen to the instrumental, it's beautiful. Then we've got a sing-along version where we made it very, very unique for kids to be able to sing along, where we left the vocal in, but very, very quietly. So the kid doesn't have to guess when to start, or if they mess up, they don't have to feel embarrassed that they can't really know where to go.
What a great idea.
So they just sing along, but their voice is dominant versus the recording. And then
so it's like they have their backup singers.
Right. So it's like they're not on their own stranded. Here you go. And if they're at that level, you got the instrumentals. So you can have either one. And then you've got the remix version, and that's the one I'm real excited about, because we took all 18 songs and did a really high tempo, upbeat album where families can work out to. They can wash dishes too. They can clean house, get the kids motivated to clean. But it's high energy, and it's something that's very popular in today's world with electronic music. Mm-hmm. And my mindset is, to be honest with you, my whole family is gluten-free by choice. Uh-huh. That's something that by choice we decided that this is something that is a better lifestyle for us. It's healthier. Mm-hmm. It's something that we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. But can you imagine taking away pizza and cake and pasta from a 1, 4, 7, and 9-year-old?
That's kind of hard.
It's as a parent, it's important that we basically, if we're going to say you can't do this, we have to give them an alternative, a replacement of something good to replace the bad. Mm-hmm. So that they don't sneak around, so that they don't feel left out, so they don't feel deprived. Mm-hmm. And so we do give them gluten-free cake, gluten-free pizza, gluten-free cookies, gluten-free everything, so they don't feel like they're any different. It's just a different flavor that they're used to, but they don't feel like they can't be like their friends. Mm-hmm. Same thing with music. If electronica music is so popular right now, if this style is so popular, and I tell my kids, I don't want you being influenced by what the world is offering you. Mm-hmm. I want you to follow this path. But there's nothing available for me to replace it with. How can I expect them to not feel deprived and not sneak around and do something? And I've been in the music business 20 years. My wife and I sat down and was like, honey, there's nothing for our kids. And she's like, well, you're in the business. Do something. Okay, let's do it.
So what have you done in the music business?
Oh man, I started out, my parents were missionaries in Mexico. Mm-hmm. And so I went to Dallas Baptist University for college and met a band there that was called Judah, eventually called Between Thieves. Mm-hmm. And I started helping them out and started doing concert promotions for them and eventually managed them. And when they disbanded, I got a phone call by a guy named Chris Tomlin. And he was at the Woodlands doing worship. And he's like, hey, Jimmy, this is Chris Tomlin. And you don't know who I am? I was like, no, I don't. I have no clue. He says, but I'm at the Woodlands, and I need a bass player for my band. Do you have anybody? And I was like, man, I got the best one for you. But he just broke up with his band, and good luck. But I introduced them, and for about a year or 2 years, he would fly Jesse Reeves from Dallas to the Woodlands twice a week. Wow. So he could still be a teacher and play in his band. And they wrote all these huge songs together, and they've been together for 14 years. And ironically, which is funny because on this project we've got, like I said, I got the unknown songs. Mm-hmm. Well, one of those unknown songs is Kindle, which is written by Jesse Reeves and Between Thieves 20 years ago. Wow. And then we're highlighting 2 of the Chris Tomlin Band songs on here. So it comes full circle, but it's kind of a little cool little nugget that we put in there.
Wow.
But I've done everything else from record label to music publishing to movies, film, TV. So we've been able to incorporate both the Christian and mainstream world and put it into this product and be able to get it everywhere. So this CD is actually now available in Walmart, all the family Christian stores, Lifeways, Mardel's, all the church bookstores, and it's pretty much everywhere.
So it must be selling pretty well then.
It is. I encourage everybody to, instead of necessarily buying the album and not knowing exactly what it is and what you're getting, the technology in the world today, you've got so many options to listen to it for free. So there's Spotify, RDO, even iTunes, and you could preview it for, I think, a minute and a half. YouTube, you could preview it. So I encourage everybody to just go listen to it for free, share it on your social sites, get some feedback, see what your kids think, and then consider buying it.
We always encourage people to go to their Christian bookstore if they can, because if you have a Christian bookstore in your neighborhood, you are so blessed.
Absolutely.
The last 2 places I've lived, all our Christian bookstores have closed.
Wow. Well, Family Christian Store was really big in Dallas, where I'm from, and I went when it came out to purchase it, and I was shocked that all of the ones that were in my area were gone as well.
Yeah, and that's because we're not supporting them. Absolutely. They can't survive if we don't
music in general,
them.
Books and everything in general has gotten small, so everybody wants to complain that there's not an alternative, it's not there, but it's our job to support it.
That's right, exactly. Now there's something really special about this. The children who sang on it.
Well, we picked a school out of Dallas to work on this volume. It's called NAMS, which is the Neighborhood Arts School in Frisco, Texas, which is near Dallas. And they have about 180 students. And these are students that, it's really sad to see that the entertainment, the arts and entertainment in public schools and even private schools have really diminished. And so there's all these really nice, great professional schools that have after-school programs where you could come and take lessons, whether it's guitars or vocals in this case. And we were able to find there's about 40 students on this record. And they've worked their extra hours. They would come in maybe 30 minutes to an hour every week and really practice, and then get on the microphone and record, and just they worked really, really hard. And there's some really outstanding kids. There's one kid who sings on Friends and Speak Life.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a 10-year-old kid, and I promise you, if this is the direction they wanted to take this 10-year-old kid, he would be the Christian Justin Bieber. I mean, he is that great. And when he's recording, he's so cute, because he'll sit there on his iPhone and play. And you want me to, okay. And then he'll just come to the mic and just nail it first time, and then come back to his phone like nothing. Most kids are just nervous, and after 3 times, you just done. It's awesome.
Wow, that's amazing. So you said you also contribute back to the school.
Yeah, proceeds of this album absolutely go back to the school. Majority of the proceeds, actually, because we want the kids to continue to have education, and we feel like it's real important that they invested into this project and made it as good as it is, so they deserve to get a huge profit back. So we want to encourage school activity like that.
So how many albums are you planning to put out a year?
Well, this year we're releasing 2.
Okay.
So Volume 1 is currently out in all 4 formats, the remix and everything. We have a Christmas album, and that one's Christmas Volume 1.
Yeah, I think you have a picture of it here.
Yeah, right there. This one's really special because it's going to be 12 songs on this one. We've got 2 songs that are very well known from Owl City, Toby Mac, and we did the Charlie Brown theme song. You got to do Charlie Brown. But we have some classics on there, 6 classics like Jingle Bell Rock, Here We Come, A Caroling, lots of songs that everybody's familiar with.
Away in a Manger, always the first one
the
children seem to learn.
I love it. And but we did brand new versions of these. So it's songs that you've known, but complete new versions with the kids singing.
Okay.
And I'm really excited that we got 4 original Christmas songs on here that were written specifically for this album. And
that's great.
That's Light Up the World, No Better Holiday, All I Have to Give, and I Hope This Gets to You. And they're just amazing songs. I can't wait for everybody to hear them.
So how did the children react when you first told them that they might be recording on an album like this?
Well, we had to keep it a secret, because the industry is very, I wouldn't say the industry necessarily, but individuals in the industry, they like to take people's ideas and jumpstart their own. So it's hard to keep something so original. But this is not very, very original, to be honest with you. But the way we've done it and how we package in the type of songs we've done, that's original. It hasn't happened in the Christian industry like this. And so I had to keep it a secret, because these kids take so long to record, and you have to organize and come up with logos, and it just takes a long time. So we didn't really announce it until it was already in stores. So we're going backwards. We don't have a touring band. We don't have the traditional way of launching a product for 2, 3, 4 months before it comes out. So we put it out in stores, and then we're marketing and promoting it. So getting kids to come in and record something that they're unfamiliar with, they've never seen it before, never heard it, that was a challenge, but it's always fun.
And they didn't know they were recording for an album?
They knew they were recording for an album, but not what it was for, because we had to keep it very hush-hush. But now they're ecstatic.
Were they excited?
Oh, yeah. There was one girl who told me we did a city release party. We actually called it a birthday party for the album. And she was so excited because Mercy Me came out with their album that same week. And she was able to go, she sang on Shake, their version. And she went to an autograph session, and she told them about it, and they wanted to hear it, so she played it for them right then and there, and they got all excited for her. And it's just real cool to see a kid go, hey, you just released this album, and here's my version of it, and they supporting her, and that's just real special.
That is. Well, where can people find you and this album online?
HisKidzUnited.com.
And kids is spelled K-I-D-Z.
Z or with an S. Both of them go straight to it. We're actually
Okay.
changing everything to the S just because people are having a hard time finding it.
Okay.
So kids with a Z, kids with an S, it doesn't matter. You'll find us.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being our guest, Jimmy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
God bless.
Stand